welcome to the daily English news program on Azerbaijan television with the most important events of the day. On July 7th, President Ilham Aliyev signed an executive order on the additional measures on the construction of Shorken-Beshtali-Banke-Shirvanli highway of Neftchala region. According to the executive order, 3 million manas from the funds envisaged for construction and reconstruction of rural highways in the state-based investment making expenses of 2015 state budget of the Republic of Azerbaijan is allocated to Neftchala region. Executive power to continue further the construction of Shorken-Beshtali-Banke-Shirvanli highway of Neftchala region, connecting 21 residential settlements with 37,000 inhabitants. On July 14th, the next meeting of CIS Council of Permanent Plenipotentiary Representatives of the member state will take place in Minsk. The meeting will be attended by Chairman of the CIS Executive Committee, Executive Secretary Sergei Lebedev. The permanent plenipotentiary representatives will discuss the activities of the Council of Heads of State News Agencies founded in 1995. The first European Games have gone down in history, as European sport officials have said the sport event hosted by Baku from June 12 through 28 did not fall behind the Summer Olympic Games for its level and organization. President of the European Olympic Committee, Patrick Hickey, said that Azerbaijan has formed the high standards of this sport event. According to the public opinion poll conducted by Ray Monitoring Center, the closing ceremony of the first European Games was watched with as great interest as the opening ceremony.
1,500 respondents aged 18 and older were interviewed as part of the nationwide public opinion poll conducted by Ray Monitoring Center from July 1st till July 3rd, 2015. The results of the poll show that the closing ceremony of the first European Games was watched with as great interest as the opening ceremony. 79% of the respondents said they had watched the closing ceremony. 91% of those who watched the closing ceremony watched the show on TV, up to 1% at the stadium, 8% on the internet. 70% of the respondents said they took pride in the closing ceremony. 12% said they enjoyed such high-level competitions. Only 4% of respondents said it had made no sense for them. They had not paid attention to it. 3% of the respondents said they felt nothing. Only 1% of the respondents expressed dissatisfaction with such competitions. 12% of the respondents found it difficult to answer this question. In the poll conducted from June 13th through 15th, soon after the opening ceremony of the Games, up to 80% of the country's population said they would watch the Games, while in the poll conducted after the closing ceremony, 88% of the respondents said they had watched the Games. The rest, 12%, said they did not take interest in sports at all. To the question, in which kind of sport could the Azerbaijani athletes have performed better, 23% of the respondents said wrestling, 16% volleyball, and 20% other kinds of sports. 31% of the respondents found it difficult to answer the question. 94% of the country's population said the Azerbaijani athletes' performance was successful. Only 1% said they were unsuccessful. 5% of the respondents found it difficult to answer this question. To the question, how do you assess the performance of Azerbaijani athletes, 63% of the respondents said it was better than they had expected. 27% said as they had expected, and 1% said it was bad. 9% of the respondents found it difficult to answer the question. 72% of the respondents considered that the first European Games were not only a cultural event, but also an opportunity to promote Azerbaijan in the world. Most of the respondents considered that the funds spent on the Games justified themselves. Only 10% of the interviewers do not share this view. 18% of the respondents found it difficult to answer the question. 83% of the respondents think that creation of the infrastructure for the Games has increased our opportunities to go in for sports and at the same time means investing into the future. 11% do not share this view. 6% found it difficult to answer the question. The poll revealed that 86% of the country's population approved the idea of holding the Islamic Solidarity Games 2017 in Azerbaijan. 8% disapproved this idea and 6% found it difficult to answer.
The Ministry of Youth and Sport held a meeting with karate athletes who succeeded in the competition during the first European Games.
The event was attended by Head of the Department of the Ministry of Youth and Sports Mirkamil Rahimov, President of Azerbaijan National Karate Federation Yashar Bashirov, Head Coach of the national team Rahman Hatamov, and European Games medal-winning karate athletes. Pointing out that the first European Games was held at the highest level, President of the Federation thanked President Ilham Aliyev and Chairperson of the Organizing Committee of Baku 2015, the first European Games, Mehriban Aliyeva. Yashar Bashirov especially noted noted with winning 4 gold and 2 bronze medals, our karate athletes had engraved their names with golden letters in the history. Head of the Department of Ministry of Youth and Sport Mirkamil Rahimov also praised the performance of our athletes. He provided information about the successful results of athletes performing in different disciplines, who competed in the European Games together with karate athletes. Head coach of our national team, Rahman Hatamov, and the medal winners of the European Games also noted that they would continue this winning streak in the upcoming competitions.
State Border Service organized a meeting with the athletes and coaches of the Serhatchi Sport Olympic Center.
Speaking about the training of athletes for future competitions, Chief of the State Border Service Elchin Guliyev wished success to the athletes. He noted that Serhatchi Sports Olympic Center had become a favorite sports center for city residents, especially for the young. More than 17,000 sports fans are training in the center. The athletes training in this center has won 375 gold, 270 silver and 404 bronze medals in the World and European Championships, international and national tournaments. Then the responsible officials of the Serhatchi Sports Olympic Center delivered speeches. Medals, initial and subsequent military ranks were presented to the winning athletes of the first European Games and other reputable international competitions.
That was all for today. Thanks for being with us. Goodbye.